KMA 130 or is this Powerhead. But we're gonna test it out today. I'm gonna try to cut some grass and then we'll use the blower. Pretty much got all the trees trimmed. I may find something that we can use a little saw blade to try to cut something, but the main thing is cut some grass. Let's just see how strong it works. I don't like how Stihl did the controls. You have to have two hands pretty much to do it. But other than that, I found it to work pretty well. One of the things that did come with it, come with a sling, and I don't know why it's in this tube. It's in the old standard Stihl tube, but it runs off battery power, so it don't have a spark plug or anything like that. But I guess in the price it automatically gave it to you. But here's a sling, which I doubt I'll probably use. So we bought the Powerhead, bought one battery full price, got the next battery half price. Bought the charger. I have to get it out and show you it has a battery charger. These batteries are about 4 pounds a piece. When you put them in the charger, they'll charge up. All three lights will come on the charger, and the charger will cut off. Actually, it has a fan on it, and it runs like a motor light for its charging. But they're pretty heavy batteries. When I first got it, I put it on my belt, and it was just really too heavy and awkward. And so, this is what I bought originally. And you run your belt through this belt loop here. Drop the battery in here. It clicks in the bottom. And then you go about your merry way. But it throws the body weight off, your balance is off and all that. And I said, well, there's got to be a better way. So I went back to the Stihl website and saw this on the website. It didn't have a price, so I actually had to go to a Stihl dealer to get the backpack. And so what happened is this, you put the battery in here, and then this little contraption fits into this backpack here. And the cable, it's got a little hole on the side. Cable comes up on the side that you're going to use the tool, where your right hand and the left hand. And the cable comes out, hangs down, and plugs into the Powerhead. But it's got a nice little quick release that it hooks on. One of the things they have designed a quick release, so if you have a problem with one of the batteries, something short out or whatever happened, it's designed to have a quick release so you can get out of it quickly and safely. So what I'm going to do is put the battery in here, put the little battery carrier inside here. It fits inside. Run the cable through and then test it out, and we'll see how it works. And I'll get you a close-up view of the battery when the battery is on charge to kind of show you how that works. But it looks like it's going to work out pretty good. They did assemble it. I'm going to have to take this loose and straighten the handle back out a little bit. I usually don't put the, also this comes, just a little safety bar. On my first purchase, I took a hacksaw and cut it off. It just got in the way. But what it is a safety feature. So if you hit something with the saw blade on it, it comes back to your leg, and it kind of helps you balance it with the sling on the other side. But I usually don't use them. I just cut them off because they get in the way with the way I use the tool. So we'll see how well this works. We'll give you some live video and go from there. All right, we'll come back. Okay, so got the battery in. That straps in really well. Strap come over the top, and then the little backpack has a strap that comes across the bottom. Now, if you was going to put it in the top, it'll carry two batteries. You have a place here where you can have a vertical and a horizontal strap if you're going to carry it two. But since you only got one, this one here sits down on the bottom of this. And so it's supposed to be able to wrap this Velcro around there, but they didn't think that through very well. It's supposed to be a looping fastener, that's what the book says, but that's fine. It don't. I'm probably going to end up taking this off, because this is probably going to eventually come loose. But it's supposed to loop around there and kind of help hold the cable, which doesn't really matter once you get it on to the tool. You can, another option is you can run it up through the shoulder, around the shoulder strap if you so desire. But I chose not to do that. Coming out the side is going to be my best option on the right side. So just put it in there, and it zips up, which going to make it a whole lot better for us carrying. is where it's going to really benefit. It take the load off of just having the weight on one side. Like I said, the battery's right at 4 pounds. So that's the way it's going to be. We'll put this quick harness on and give it a try and see what happens. Okay. As you see in some of my other videos, I poured concrete, it's on level and everything like that, but it's got some leaves in it, so we're just going to try this out with the blower on it and see how it does with our blowing leaves. Again, like I said, you almost have to have 2 hands, so you want to push the trigger down and the sort of safety deal, and you have to release this right here. The lights come on whatever speed you want, and so I'm going to run it on mid-range, which is 2 lights. Let's see what happens. Blower works really well. Okay, that's just a sample of the blower. To me, it works pretty good. I can see where a sling will really come in handy. This here, when you take the power unit off and you need to stop for anything, I got a lot of pockets on my pants, so I would just stick it in here. That'd be nice if it had a little holster here. But you make it, just stick it inside the belt, you know. If you had to go get a glass of water or something. I'm about 5 feet 11 inches. Probably about 190 in weight, and so it's very comfortable. Let you see how it sits on the back. I got it sitting kind of low, and I'm just going to leave it like that because it doesn't bother me. And then see how it fits on the side there at the back, and then on this side here. So fits me pretty well. And like I said, with the quick release, it's just you have a snap here. You can tighten this up if you want to. It's pretty comfortable to me. I like it sagging down on the back, but just a matter of popping this off and hitting the button here if we have an emergency. So I have it adjusted just to be snug is all I have. So it don't fit tight. It probably need to be a little bit tighter, but I wanted to make it easy so I don't have to extend this shoulder too much, which is even hurting now. But it did have a sling, and I saw where the sling could really come in handy if you're taking a break or need to bend over and pick up something. You can adjust the sling to where it'll take up all the weight. On my old one, the petrol unit, the KM55R, I had a little hip pad. It had a hook on it, and I can hook it on there and just use one hand sometimes, especially with the blower, to operate it. So good idea sending a sling with it because it definitely comes in handy. And so we'll go up here and try to cut some grass and see how I do. I'm gonna change the power. I'm gonna change the attachment from the blower to the weed whacker, weed eating in. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna weed eat a little bit of this. I'll put it on a low speed, then I'll probably come back and put it on high speed. Again, like I said, one of the things, the only sad thing about this, you can maneuver probably with one hand before it's getting it cranked, but it's just easier with two. It puts a real stretch, like to get it on. You have to push this down, hold the safety, the trigger, release, pull the trigger and all that at one hand, and it stretches your thumb pretty good. It would have been nice if it just had an on and off button, and then to change the power 1, 2, 3. But looks like now it's on the lower setting, and so we'll try to weed eat some of this on the lower setting and just see how it does. It's gonna work pretty good. I didn't get it on full speed, but that's halfway, number 2 level. So works pretty good. I use that orange. I think it's .092 string is what I use. And so I think the real test would probably be the summer when it's on your back and it's hot and sweaty, what have you. But other than that, I'm really pleased with it. It works. It does what it's supposed to do. It's got plenty of power. We'll probably have to hook up the what I like to see is probably hook up the saw. I like to hook up the saw and then maybe cut a limb or a branch or something to see how well the 12-inch pole saw works with it. But other than that, I'm very pleased with it. Alright, this is the 12-inch pole saw. I bought it a couple years ago. It really come in handy. Works very well. I put a new ball and chain on it not too long ago. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to see how well it works with the electric. I put the extension on it, and we're going to just cut one of those limbs off, one of those small ones or something like that. Really don't want to cut this one, but just wanted to do it for like a demonstration. So we'll trim one of those. We'll just cut off just for demonstration purposes. So, but I'm gonna I have the saw. It has a long bar already, but I was gonna add to it, put my extension on it, and then run it through all of that, because the petrol motor head works really well, and it cuts everything. I've cut stuff that probably should have had a chainsaw on, but I want to just try this one and see how it works, and then we'll come back and see afterwards, okay? It did cut it pretty well. It was, like I said, it was a new chain. I flipped the blade over, the bar, I mean, and so it worked pretty well. I had the wrong attachment on the camera, so I couldn't show why I was doing it. But this here, like I said, this is good for cutting brush, clearing out brush. It'll cut up to 1.5 to 2 inches on small saplings. And then this is designed, the pole saw to cut up high, but it's a chainsaw blade, so it'll still cut stuff low. I just use it because up high I don't have to worry about hitting dirt, and the dirt does the chain real fast. So I use that over there to clear out little brush like that, to cut that out. But this here, the electric motor has enough power. I was surprised, but it did. It cut that. And that's just what you use a limb pole saw for small stuff like that. I have cut bigger things in the past, but really should have had used a chainsaw instead, but didn't feel like coming back down to the ground to get it, so use that. But so it works. It works. It definitely. Okay, finally ran the battery down. It was still going, but I could hear it getting weaker and weaker, and so I'm gonna let you listen. This is what the motor sounds like on the charger as it's charging it up. Again, when the battery is fully charged, that fan will cut off, the charger will cut off, and then you'll be there, and all 4 of the LEDs will be lit up. So I would say it ran pretty good. For a homeowner with a small lot, it'll be perfect. I'm glad we got the other battery, because in the springtime, when it's time to do the yard and stuff in the springtime, we'll definitely need 2 batteries. So I'm glad I got the other battery, because right now I'm sitting still when I need to go up there and blow off the driveway. Actually need another part that needs to be weed eating. Cut some more of the grass there, which should be the last time. Even if we get some more rain, should be the last time until winter. But I wanted to show you how the battery charger works and stuff like that. That's the way it goes. But if you got a small yard, 1 battery should be more than enough. Let's see. I weeded a little bit yesterday, and I used the blower a little bit, and I took the pole saw, cut a limb down. Then I went back to weed eat some more and was going to do some blowing with the blower, but did not work. The motor started slowing down. So when I take this battery out, I'm going to charge up the other. And the good thing about the battery is they'll hold a charge. If you don't use it, get it fully charged, don't use it, it'll hold it for a month. That's what happened to that one. It's been charged up over a month. Finally had a chance to use it. So there it is. That's how the charger works. Alright, it's been right about 30 minutes. So it takes about 30 minutes for this battery to charge. I realized that this is a new battery. I bought it new about a month or so ago. Put it on charge. It held the charge. We finally used it and ran it down to the last bar, which means it had less than 20% left. And so in 30 minutes, all 4 deals are lit up. And when this cut off, that's going to let you know that it's fully charged. So we're almost there. We'll give it another 5 minutes or so, and I imagine it'll cut off. So that kind of gives you some idea. That kind of gives you some kind of idea how things work. About a 30-minute charge, which is probably going to be more as the battery age. But it'll work good for me because I have 2 batteries. So what I'll probably do is charge, make sure both batteries are fully charged when I first start. And if I run out, I just put one on the charger, change batteries out, and keep going. And I should be able to finish. So that's working out there. All right. All right, YouTube. So in summary, it has some pros and it has some cons. One of the cons, the disadvantage of having it in a hot summer, this is going to be pretty warm on your back. So you have another option. You can just have the battery that you wear a belt, run the loop through it, and hook up the battery. Or they sell a battery harness from Stihl, and it helps a little bit, but it still puts the weight on one side. So that's the advantage of this. That it's put the weight in the center of your back. So that's the fortunate thing of having this case here. But for as longevity and some of the other accessories that they have available, the belt style may be a little bit better. But once you put this on, it's cumbersome getting in and out, but once you get it on, get it adjusted, you can pretty much maneuver it pretty good. But if you have to jump back in the side-by-side to go to another piece of the property to do something, they probably going to take it off, or you're going to sit in the side-by-side in a discomfort manner. So you have to think about that. One of the advantages that I found with my bomb shoulder, it did help not having to pull the string. So that's an advantage in there, and it did not vibrate as much as my KM55R. But my KM55R is old and worn out, so I don't know if you can count that against it or not. But I did enjoy using it. The only thing that I do not like about it is the trigger safety mechanism. And so I've been doing it with one hand, stretching my thumb to move the lever and then take the safety off. And so I got a cramp right here in my hand. So that's going to be a big disadvantage. Just get in the habit, if you buy it, to get in the habit of using 2 hands to get it started. And then as you bump it up, it increases the voltage usage, and which you can the speed is pretty good on low. Medium is probably why I would use it all the time, and some of the videos show it does pretty good on cutting the grass. The pole saw did very well too. But one thing that I don't like about Stihl, it's hard to get information unless you go to a dealer. You have to have a good relationship with a dealer to see what's available. Come to find out that this backpack has an attachment on it that has a hook where you can, when you get tired, you can just hook the little power head on there. I have one of these. We had bought this, I bought this a year, 2 years ago, but it's designed for the petrol power head, and it's a harness all by itself. So part of what I'm going to end up doing is taking this depending on how much the other piece costs. But I'm thinking about taking this and make it work down here, and then where I can rest the equipment if I'm in the middle of changing sides or whatever. So, but this harness works really well when you got to weed eat quite a bit and you run into where you need to just sit the power head down for a minute. One of the things is that the batteries, I would recommend getting 2 batteries. I walked off the driveway, just the driveway. One side of the driveway is 9,667 feet. So coming back down the other side, weed eating, and then of course you'll kind of, when you're using the blower, you'll be in the middle, but you have to weed eat both sides to trim the driveway, and then you have the back yard, and then you have in front of the house. So I would recommend getting 2 batteries, that way you don't have to stop. And then I'll go around the trees and the little shed on that side of the property. So you probably want to get 2 of them, but this here was 9,667. Walked from the driveway all the way out to the street. Of course, down in the street, I do a little bit around the covert, all the things that the zero-turn mower cannot get to. So if you're looking to switch over, another disadvantage switching over from petrol to battery powered is the cost. And I have the cost down in the descriptions. You have to buy the Powerhead. I already had the Kombi 2s, so I couldn't switch to individual 2s. It didn't make any sense. So I had all the attachment, the Kombi attachment. So I went with the Kombi Powerhead, which they only offer 1, and I think it's a little bit overpriced in my opinion. But they didn't ask me. So, but I think in the long run, if you got carpal tunnel syndrome, if you have trouble holding heavy things for a long period of time, I think you would come out ahead. At least rig up some kind of way to use a sling or to use the little attachment on the belt. I can't use the sling. It wasn't designed for this. It was designed for the belt harness, and I didn't know that at the fact. But it comes with this unit with the Powerhead, so I think it's already figured in the price. But overall, I think it's a good unit. Switching over, it's going to work for us. I do miss the power of the gas 2-cycle engine, but this does do the job. I find out mid-range is probably the best I want to go, and like I said, I use the orange wire for us cutting the grass, and it does a great job. So hopefully, if you're on the fence about trying to switch over to battery-powered Stihl products, if you got the Kombi system, you can buy the other items that's individual, is more designed for homeowners. This probably will work for commercial, for light commercial, and a large residential is the way I would categorize it. They have 1 step lower that's designed just for residential, but that's probably more of a suburban living, not out in the rural area, where you have some real wild grass and different kind of brush and stuff like that, and a non-manicured lawn. So it's kind of, the residential products are kind of made for that. But I like the Kombi system because I only got 1 power head to worry about, and I can just change the attachment as needed. And but this is going to be more cumbersome. If I'm going to weed eat, I got to make sure I'm going to weed eat. If I'm going to use the blower, have to determine to use the blower and be focused on that. And then other than that, I think it should be fine. But there it is. A little review on that. Came out really, really well. Checked out several other products. Of course, they send you a book on everything when you buy a Stihl product. So I hope you found this video informative, and I hope you help you out if you're going to make a decision to switch over to battery powered tools. Okay? Thank you very much for watching. If you like these kind of videos, hit that subscribe button, and when the bell come up, hit the bell, and you don't have to do anything else. And the great thing about it, it doesn't cost you anything.